Alright, so I needed to make a video today. I made a video 2 days in a row, and I went out to make a video today, and I was kind of like, feeling exhausted or worn out, I guess. And I was just like, on the first day, I caught two or three things that were really common I wanted to catch, and then catch on video. And synchronicities. I wanted to catch a couple synchronicities on video, and I managed to do that, and I'm really happy that I caught that. And then I went home, I loaded them, I did a live at night. I had one viewer, and he stayed for like 3 hours, and then unexpectedly the stream shut down, and I was like, I was having fun. Let me start back up, even though I had just done 2 hours. I was like, I'll wait a few minutes and just see if that makes a difference. Oh, I just learned something about this phone. Tripped me out before. Before I start recording, I can adjust the camera on me or not on me. Once I start recording, I can't switch the camera. All right, great. So I don't have to say, technology's out to get me. I remembered this, I remembered that. You know, like, this is like, I'm getting smarter. Smarter is not the right word. I'm gaining experience that I'm able to use to better my situation. I guess is how I would put it. So anyways, I was kind of feeling like after the second day, I had a really great day. And like the things I caught, the synchronicities, it kind of went even better than I could have hoped. And so I put the videos out. I'm getting no traction. And I have a few theories on why that could be. But there's really nothing that I can do at this point. So when I was promoting my videos on Twitter and stuff, which is the only way I get a bit of traction, if I just use YouTube, they're just hanging me out to dry, basically. So I just decided, okay, like for me, I got what I needed. I'm gonna go out for the walk, and as I was walking, it was pretty uneventful, and I didn't want to have 3 days in a row where I just went into random stores and started looking for people and having conversations. My plan was to do that for like 10 days, and like I was like, in the moment, I was like, I'm so excited, I'm gonna catch some crazy shit. And it's just like, I'm gonna catch a mental ward stay if I do that. So like I was like, let me regroup. I'm gonna make a video tonight, which I am. So like I almost didn't do it because it's about 7 now, and I was at like 3 or 4. I was like, I'm gonna make a video tonight, and then, you know, I kind of just pushed my boundaries to like you need to make a fucking video today. It doesn't have to be about catching schizophrenia and synchronicities. Like, you have more to share. Like, you have humor, because like I say, I know I can make people laugh. I don't know if I can write jokes. And like, for example, like when I was young, my schizo voice said this, and I was like so young that all the only memory I have is that it's like this kid was, I'm a doctor. Correction to my last. He's like, I want to be a doctor. Next, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. then some kid said, I want to be a cowboy. And I kind of just was like, what? Like, I kind of looked at him in shock, like, how fucking old are you? Like, you should know that cowboy is not a real job by now. And then it was like my turn, and I was like, I want to be independently wealthy. And I just remember thinking, I kind of have an idea what that means, but like I didn't really have a good grasp, but I could have bullshitted my way to like what I thought. And I just was like, I don't know. It was just interesting because it's at the time of life, these kids don't know about like hall technicians, marine biologists, mechanical engineers. So like they're all the things are like doctor, lawyer, fireman, cowboy, policeman. Well, I was just like, fuck, man, I can do better, and I'm gonna fucking lead by example here. And so I'm thinking, and then all of a sudden, independently wealthy. I'm like, that sounds cool, independently wealthy. And like, I know some of the kids, especially the guy who wanted to be a cowboy, is probably like, what is that? But like the teacher was like, she kind of gave me like I just remember her look, and I don't remember what she could have been thinking. I just remember like no one ever looked at me like that. And she said something like, well, good luck with that. And I was like, okay. And like I never really brought it back, but like I always remembered that, and like in a weird way it did kind of work out for a period. You know, so the other thing was like I said, I know I can make people laugh. I was hanging out, Christian. I was working at a casino, and I was dealing baccarat to Asian gangsters. Basically, long story short, these guys are buying in for $10,000, and if you do that, if the casino's like, correction, if the gangsters are like, we want to request a dealer change, bring Conky over. That's a common, if you're betting big money and shit like that, and they want a specific dealer, the casino will allow that. And the one guy that liked me was, like, in my opinion, probably like the loan shark. So he would sit at the table and he wouldn't gamble, but he'd sit with the gamblers, and they would come and go through the day. He would sit there and we would just shoot the shit, and like, you know, like they'd buy him for like 10,000, and then they'd be like, oh, they'd look at him and they'd be like 3,000, and he'd pull out his money, give him $3,000, and then they'd carry on, and we would carry on talking, and he'd be like, one day he was just like, he's like, you and me, we're cut from the same cloth. And I was like, I know, I just hope it's not a cum rag. He's like, you and me, we're cut from the same cloth. You and me, we're cut from the same cloth. I was like, I know, I just hope it's not a cum rag. I was like, oh. He was like, you and me were cut from the same cloth. I was like, I know, I just hope it's not a cum rag. In the moment, I always have the right cadence and the right persona. And in the moment, I always have the right cadence and the right stage persona. And I was just like, so he's like, you and me were cut from the same cloth. And I was like, yeah, I know, I just hope it's not a cum rag. And like, me and him would laugh. We had the same sense of humor. And like, sometimes I get like a weird look from like some of the other guys. But the thing was, like, people respected him. Like, he holds weight. Like, a lot of my friends hold weight. And like, I don't plan it that way, but it's just the way it works. And so like another time, We were partying in Montreal, and we're one guy is like, this guy in the military, he's like he's sitting there and we're drinking with these bikers or whatever. Like they're at a table next to us. It's like a kind of a dive bar, which is like where we like to be, like me and my friends, and we're sitting there drinking and we're yelling back and forth, and we're joking around and shit. And then this guy, I'm like standing behind these two guys pissing, my buddy and a biker. My buddy looks over and goes, "You call that a dick?" I was like, "Oh fuck, man." And I was like, "Oh my fuck, this is not," like, I was nervous. And it was a little like tense or whatever, but like they hash it out or whatever, and they come back out, and then like shortly after they all of them surround our table, and they're looking at us like testing us or something, like they're about to test us or something. So like they're like trying to remember exactly verbatim. Basically, the guy's like, "Are you gonna drink?" And I was like, "Don't ask, just pour." It was like instantly like lighten the mood. And then we continued the night on, and everything was like fucking great. But it's like I just had a knack for like saying stuff like that. Like when I was young, everyone used to say, my buddies would be like, we'd be playing soccer, and my buddies would be like, "You win some, you lose some." And I'd be like, "Fuck that, man. You win some, you get some." I was like, "Fuck that, man. Where I'm from, I'd be like, "Fuck that." I'd be like, "Fuck that, man. Where I'm from, it's you win some, you get some." And they'd be like, "Oh yeah." You know what I mean? And like, and then like, so I always like knew that I could like another example, like at the height of the Bud Light scandal, I was sitting in a bar by myself, and the bartender drops a bottle, and the whole room goes silent and looks in the direction, and I'm just like, "I hope that was a Bud Light." And it was just like, again, like, I'm just like, I'm fucking good at that. I'm just fucking natural when it comes to that type of humor. So like I didn't, so I was like, fuck, I don't know how to tell stand-up jokes like that though, because I don't know if I can write jokes. So I was like, I was thinking, and right around I was thinking about telling jokes, I was like, I want to be like a white comedian that like when I watch like reaction videos of Bill Burr, a lot of times it's African Americans laughing at Bill Burr. And I just was like, I would like to get that kind of respect from that community. And so I was just like, fuck man, how am I going to do that? Because I knew what it was like to be the only white guy allowed to party on an Indian reservation. And it was strictly because I was friends with these guys and these Native Americans, and we'd play pool and shoot and play for money and drinks at Foggy Notions in Sault Ste. Marie. And so like I'm in there, and like fucking sure enough, my buddy walks in, which is, kind of common, but not always. Like we would hang out, but we didn't have like each other's phone numbers. We would just like hang out in the same place, and then when we ran into each other, we'd be like, "Hey, how's it going?" So anyways, I'm sitting there playing these two Native guys, and like unbeknownst to me, my friend, he holds weight in that community, which is a common theme with my friends. And he comes up to me, and I'm just like, whoa, easy there, Chief Smackaho. And so he fucking laughed, and like everyone fucking in the room laughed. But like, if I just say that, it's not like quite as funny. So like, I decided to write the joke. So so I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, the community that I'm trying to impress are athletes, artists, and artists are rap, comedians, athletes. Anyway, so I'm like, I gotta choose my words correctly because I know first impressions are everything, and I know if I'm gonna come in hot, I gotta like pique. I gotta pique their interest, and then like I knew that I might get like a little bit stage fright or whatever, kind of like I'm doing right now. So I was like, teaser, in the dice game of life, who gets the last roll? And I'm trying to figure out, and I was just like, I'm an aspiring stand-up comedian. And I'm trying to figure out if I should be writing lyrics for songs or writing jokes. But I have this one that you just heard. And I can't tell if it's a lyric from a song that I borrowed to use to kind of write a joke or something, but I can't turn it into a joke, but it seems too good to waste. But I can't think of any rap songs. So I'm just assuming like maybe you know more about rap than me. And so anyways, right there, that would buy me a little bit of time. So then I was like, the first time I did it and every time after, I actually nailed it perfectly. This is my worst attempt, but I'm also trying to explain it too. So like, I said, the truth is, I did get paid to play football till I was 32. It was in Europe, but even when I was in Europe, I'm like, playing soccer. And they'd be like, fuck off, man. I'd be like, fuck off, man, I'm Canadian, that's what it's called. But like, for this joke, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna switch it. If I say football, and I played football till I was 32, and I know that it'll pique their interest, and then I'm gonna make it, and then it'll be clear. So it'll be clear that, oh, we don't know this guy, but maybe he's interesting. So I said, I got paid to play football till I was 32. I got a lot of yellow cards, a few red cards, but I'm gonna have to play my white card on this one. I'm assuming you know more about rap lyrics than me. I'm an aspiring stand-up comedian. I think my future is telling jokes, but I also have the ability, I think, to like maybe, hopefully, like ghost write rap lyrics. So like, have you ever heard this? In the dice game of life, who gets the last roll? And then like I just waited for this ball, and they would think about it, and go, oh, fucking, like they'd be like, that's pretty good. Maybe you should focus on writing rap. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you think about my joke? When my native friends unexpectedly show up in a wife beater, I'm like, whoa, easy there, Chief Smackaho. And they're like, and then I'll get a laugh. And then like, it was such a cool experience that like I got addicted to it. So I would just do that. I did it once, and then I was like, I walked around, I was just like, holy fuck, I just relived it. And like they were like, I was like this, and like pounding my hand, and like they were like, fuck, cheers man, good luck and all that shit. And it was like whatever, and it was such a good feeling, but it wasn't like I was Like the first couple of times, they'd be like, well, I'm gonna keep going, but it was awesome, but I didn't get the recognition where I really wanted it. And then eventually this guy was just like, this guy really liked me. And he's like, this motherfucker is G'd up from the feet up. I was just like, yeah, that's fucking sick, dude. And I was like, fucking sick, dude. I was like, that's exactly what I want. And then, like, once I got that, I was like, okay, like, if I never do stand-up, I know that I could do stand-up if I really wanted to. You know what I mean? So just like recognition. So, but like, honestly, I really just want to talk about, like, shit, like, the crazy experiences that I've had. And, I tried every option but telling jokes because I have problems with speaking sometimes, pronunciation, cadence, and stage persona. Those are my weaknesses, and they're also kind of the main points of being a great stand-up comedian. So I'm like, I don't know, like, no matter how hard I remember a joke, in like 10 minutes I forget it. So like, even if I practice 3 days for repeating the joke, I'll never fucking, with my experience so far, I'll never remember it perfectly 2 weeks later. I'll always have to, I don't know. So I think I'm like kind of looking forward to writing. Basically, I just want to be in a man cave 24/7 with hot tomboys, and you know, with hot tomboys. Like that's the type of girl I look. That's the only type of girl that I'm sexually attracted to. Is like the tomboy. It's a hot tomboy. So, I found one once, and I was just like, it's love. I knew it was love when I found a 9 that would do flaming Sambuca shots with me and the boys. It's just like, she's a keeper. But then, like, there's a lot of competition, and, she had a lot of options. And, like, eventually, shit happened. She was a slot machine. To put it nicely, she was a slot machine. And I knew that going in, and I made it 5 years before I was like, I can't love you, no matter if you broke it. Sorry. I don't know. I wanted to trade. I wanted to say it honestly didn't bother me. I understood the situation. Like, you put this girl on a ship with 20 other girls, maybe, and 200 guys, with drinking and partying. Like, I'm surprised she lasted 2 years. I kind of knew it. But, like, she was, like, the only chick that I really would have, you know what I mean, liked.